So they finally did it. How to Train Your Dragon has joined the long list of beloved animated classics getting the full-blown live-action remake treatment. But here's the thing. This one's different. It's not from Disney. It's from DreamWorks. And they've brought back the original director, Dean DeBlois. Sounds promising, right? The real question is, did we actually need this remake? Or is it just another shiny nostalgia trap?
I really need to truly to hear. I just describe.
I watched the entire thing, and I've got a lot to say. Let's go back for a second. The 2010 How to Train Your Dragon wasn't just a hit, it was a generation-defining story. It gave us heartfelt characters, breathtaking animation, and a bond between a boy and his dragon that genuinely moved people. The music soared, the visuals stunned, and somehow it blended action, comedy, and emotion better than most big-budget franchises ever do. So when I heard they were remaking it in live action, my first thought was, why mess with something that already works? But here we are. And to their credit, they didn't phone it in. Here's the wild part. This remake sticks very, very close to the original. Almost scene for scene, line for line, beat for beat. It's a loyal adaptation, almost too loyal at times. But they added something else. 30 extra minutes of runtime. That means more backstory, more Viking teen politics, and more time watching Hiccup be an outcast among his peers. The added scenes? Mixed results. Some give the world more texture, but others just slow things down. The original was lean and sharp. This version lingers a lot, so while it looks different, it feels like the same story, stretched. Let's talk performances. Mason Thames as Hiccup, honestly, he nails it. He brings awkward charm and quiet determination without copying Jay Baruchel's voice work. He feels like Hiccup. And then there's Gerard Butler, back from the animated trilogy, this time in the flesh as Stoick. He's rough, intense, and actually adds emotional depth, a total win. But Astrid, played by Nico Parker, is where things dip. She's supposed to be fierce, competitive, but underneath it all, warm. In this version, she mostly feels cold, wooden, and their romantic connection, it's barely there. You can tell the actors have chemistry in real life, but it just doesn't come through in the film. That key moment, when she softens and kisses Hiccup, it lands awkwardly. Not because of the moment itself, but because the build-up wasn't earned. Visually, though, this movie soars. Bill Pope's cinematography brings Burke to life in stunning detail. The IMAX flying scenes, especially with Hiccup and Toothless, are absolutely breathtaking. And the dragons, they look good. More realistic, more fierce, but still recognizable from the animation. You can tell they cared about keeping the designs faithful. The returning score by John Powell is a huge win. Hearing that iconic music again, especially with a full surround sound setup, is goosebump territory. But let's be honest, a lot of this is still digital. The blend between live action and CGI isn't always seamless. At times, it feels more like a cinematic video game than a movie. And that's the struggle with so many live-action remakes now. How much is really live? Now here's what matters most. The heart. The emotional bond between Hiccup and Toothless is still the engine of this film. And yes, it works. Even if one of them is made entirely of pixels, the connection feels real. The moment where Toothless learns to trust Hiccup, or when they first take flight together, it's just as powerful now as it was 15 years ago. Same story, different medium, but the emotion carries over. That's a win. So who's going to enjoy this? If you're new to the story, this is a fantastic way to experience it. If you're a lifelong fan, you'll admire the effort, but you might be bothered by the slower pacing. If you're wondering whether to go to theaters or wait for streaming, honestly, it depends on how much you care about big visuals versus tight storytelling. It's kind of like watching a director's cut of a movie you already love. It's cool, but it doesn't beat the original. How to Train Your Dragon 2025 is a gorgeous, faithful, and carefully made remake, but it's also a little bloated, a little slower, and not always emotionally sharp. Still, it doesn't ruin anything. In fact, it might win over a whole new generation of dragon lovers. So if you're a fan, check it out. Just don't expect it to reinvent the wheel. Let me know in the comments, did this remake live up to your expectations? Or would you rather stick with the animated original? And while you're here, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more honest, no-fluff movie reviews that actually respect your time. Until next time, keep your dragons trained and your standards high.